Live, everybody. Good to
For
see
what?
everybody.
What are you going to do
Friday
with it? That
night.
sounds a bit gross.
Likes. I don't know what Wayne is talking about. There was something going on off air. He's being rude. This is the show where
That's normal.
our guests compete for likes. We're going to ask them a bunch of questions and see who has the best answers, in my opinion, because I have all the godly knowledge in the world about West Ham. Let's go around and introduce all of our guests first. Wally, let's start with you. Who are you? Where are you? What are you doing for us? And what are you drinking?
I am Wally, and I am drinking a New Orleans concoction called Ohen, which is like an absinthe type liquor, and I am just here to keep score. So any disputes come my way.
There's no just Wally.
But it's not just Wally. Absolutely not. Wally is an integral part here of making sure we have standards of conduct and we do this fairly and correctly, and it's all done on paper. That being said, Wally, goodbye. We're going to get rid of you. Gents, we've got these fellas in the room. These are the boys from West Ham is Why We Drink podcast. Really happy to have everybody here.
Hey.
If nobody is tuned in yet, you better subscribe to that podcast. It's full of laughs. Let's all go around and introduce ourselves. I think we're all in the same place. We're all in Dallas, right? So we don't need to say where we are, but who are you? How can we reach you? Can we follow you on social media? And what are you drinking, James? Let's start with you.
I am James. I am drinking a very large glass of whiskey and cola, and I believe it's Crown tonight. I'm in Dallas Hammers, this way, yeah. And Wayne made me do this. Actually, it was more Adam, but yeah.
You'll have fun. You'll be fine. Wayne.
It'll be great.
My name's Wayne. Wayne Hammer, as you can see just below there, because I'm a total media whore, as Adam will no doubt point out at least half a dozen times during the course of the show. I am the conniving person out of the three of us. I'm the one that does all of the editing on the podcast and makes people sound better when they have like a little girl's voice like Adam. And I also cut out a lot of the deep breathing that James does when he's recording as well. But mostly I do a lot of lying via my editing. So I create things out of nothing. And I'm drinking from a West Ham glass, if you can see it. West Ham glass. I've got a very small glass of Jameson with a little drop of water in it. So a very small glass, because I'm figuring with my track record, I'm liable to lose tonight. So I might as well enjoy it.
Wayne is a magician, of course. He makes things happen that didn't happen on the podcast, and you will probably make that whiskey disappear as well. Adam.
I'm sure I will.
I'm Adam. You can get me on Twitter at AdamFragFrankel. Oh my gosh, too many questions so long ago. I'm drinking the same glass, but I'm drinking a special concoction of mine. I call it a J Detto and Coke. I'm not using Jack, but it's a little bit of whiskey, Angel's Envy, a little bit of Disaronno.
Oh,
hello.
And a little bit of Coke. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, very classy.
Just keep your nose off of the desktop, okay, Adam? That Coke part of it.
I do have this. Gosh. I do have one of those glasses myself, but it wasn't big enough.
Well, then
it's been a long week.
There you go, James.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't say. You guys can follow me at Bearded Bass Guy on Twitter.
Bearded Bass Guy, excellent. With that, boys, we're going to get underway. As I just explained, this is a show where everybody competes for likes. We've got a little bit of rivalry in the room, I feel like, tonight. These guys are they're probably a bit too familiar with each other, where this could get fiery. And I'm
Should we put some money on it as well?
Second of it. I don't know.
Where my lucky red hat.
That's up to all you. That's up to all you. Who's floating?
I reckon at the Tottenham game, the first round at the pub on the loser.
Yeah, I won't be there.
Then it's definitely a good shout.
Fake fans, see?
Plastic.
So everybody in the audience, we're going to get going. Friday Night Likes. When these guys make a good point, I give them a thumbs up with my overly novelty-sized thumb. And
if Adam gets the point, you could just punch directly to the left there, John. He's punch drunk anyway. He probably wouldn't feel it.
It's the other way. I don't want to swing this about too much. It just looks rude. So with that first question, Roberto is clearly stealing a living. That man is just ridiculous after the last performance. Who do you think the best thief on the West Ham squad would be? And Adam, I'm going to start with you.
Okay, well, we start off with a nice, easy question. there's an obvious answer here, and that's going to be Aaron Cresswell because he's a Scouser, isn't he? It's in his blood. Literally, before he learned to talk, he was robbing money out of his parents' wallet. So there really is only one clear answer, and that's Aaron Cresswell.
That's a good answer. I got to say, there's probably very few hubcaps in the West Ham parking lot. Wayne.
Well, I'm not going to go for the obvious joke because, the obvious joke is sitting directly above me. It's sitting directly above me. I'm going to say Anderson because the money that we paid for him last year, he seems like he's stoned out of his brains every time he walks out on the field. The only thing I'll give him good marks for is for decent hair. And obviously, I'm only saying that because I'm bald myself. And if I wasn't bald, I wouldn't even give him marks for that. Okay. He's lazy. He's not doing anything for us. Where are all those nutmegs from last year? Where's all that disappeared to? All he had with us last year was his tricks. He doesn't even have the tricks this year. Not even one trick. The best trick would be for him to actually turn up on a fucking game.
There you go, James.
I'm going to go with Mark Noble. I have a secret conspiracy theory that Mark Noble is actually an East London gangster, and he has the board in his pocket, and that's why he gets an extended contract every year. He gets to play more and more and more.
Yeah, Nobes is hanging around for sure. I think they just extended him again. So
yes,
we're not going to see the back of him anytime soon.
Yeah, secret shares in the club.
Exactly.
He might do. Keeping the topic on Roberto, so can you name another West Ham player, past or present, who looks so out of their depth as Roberto does currently? James.
My favorite West Ham trivia question, and the Marco Boogers. That's the only answer. But he's always my favorite because of that red card.
Wayne.
I have to go with this season. I have to go with current times, and I'm gonna have to say the guitar playing Mr. Sanchez, because he doesn't have a bloody clue what he's doing, whether he's on the field, off the field, getting dressed in the morning, or taking a dump. I'm sure he doesn't have a clue.
Didn't know you were looking at him that closely, Adam.
There are videos, John.
Oh, I don't want to know, Wayne.
I mean, I'm glad that we've got questions this easy because there are literally so many players over the years. Like, you can literally do a running order through like modern day West Ham, from jokes like Wayne Quinn in the Championship to like, I think my number one answer is Savio. Yeah. Here's a guy we literally pay $9 million for him to replace Craig Bellamy. He starts 10 matches, scores no goals, and then 6 months later, we sell him for $2 million. That is the biggest joke of all. So, yeah.
I'm really happy you brought that up because I was thinking of another question tonight, which I'm actually going to ask right now because it involves Savio. Who was the bigger $9 million flop? Savio? Or correct me if I'm wrong, Jordan Hugill. Wasn't he 9 million? He was around about that.
He was 8, wasn't he? I think he was 8 million.
So who was the bigger flop out of those two? Adam, we'll start since you brought Savio up. Let's start up top.
I mean, I think it's got to be Savio, but that's only because Hugill's story isn't over yet. Like, he's still performing. He still plays for us. He's just out on loan. And the reality is this. He's actually a really good Championship player, and unfortunately, we might need that next season. So,
very good point.
So, yeah, I think Savio's definitely the bigger flop.
James,
definitely, I have to agree with Adam. Unfortunately, it's my least favorite thing to do, but I think Savio because, as he said, Hugill's story isn't over, and he's doing well in Championship. He's scored 7 goals or something, I think. So he's doing okay, and we could actually get some money back if we don't end up, as Adam said, needing him desperately next season in the Championship.
I guess my problem with that is to be determined. He can score as many goals as he wants with somebody else, but he ain't done it for us. Wayne.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm having trouble concentrating, John, because every time that Adam mentions Savio, his balls sweat quite a little bit, and it drips on my head here. So,
what? Is there a way to take away likes? Is there a dislike button?
Right there.
I'm leaving that in the capable hands of Wally. Wally has all power over the likes.
Good.
I just throw thumbs around. That's it.
And I will say it's so nice for once to be able to be said, like, to say what I want to say without it being censored. Probably a good time to make sure everyone is fully aware that James left because of the affair he had with Wayne's wife.
I do get to download this and edit it for the show. I do get to download it and edit it for the show. So maybe the show that comes out on the West Ham's Way podcast will actually have Adam's normal voice on it.
Maybe this time, or maybe it's a Savio impression.
It's possible. No, I think Hugill right now, for one reason. That opening video he did when he first joined the team, where he said, "I can't wait to go out there with all those bubbles, see all the bubbles," and that's why it was just so pathetic. It was sad.
Incredible. Keeping on the topic of Roberto, since we cannot get away from...
John, you have a one-track mind, mate?
I do. Well, after that last performance, where you can almost attribute every single goal to the man,
I can't believe.
I want to give at least a quarter of the show to him, and he's that bad.
I can't believe there's stories saying he's going to start against Tottenham. I just can't.
It's unfathomable.
I shouldn't say anything, but they're coming from the same place that said he wasn't starting, so I don't know if it makes any difference.
I did see that as well.
I can't believe that before Fabianski, we were actually looking at him as a possibility.
Well, I don't believe that. I don't believe that story at all.
Did you see the video of him when he was back at what was that last Tin Pot club he played for?
Olympiacos or something.
Yeah, Olympiacos. Where he's on the training pitch and he goes back to catch the ball like that, and it goes directly between his two hands.
I mean, he was obviously brought in thinking that we would never have to use him. Which, to be fair, you rarely have to use a backup goalkeeper. Although,
unless you're West Ham,
we're West Ham. Right? I mean,
West Ham,
Spurs and Liverpool as well this year as well.
True.
But so I think we'll get into. We're staying on the Roberto theme, and I think it kind of does into the second question as well. But let me stay on this one just for one more, and that is, think to brighter times. And who is the best West Ham goalkeeper you have ever seen? James.
The best, personally, since I've been watching West Ham, I just have to go with Adrian because he's beautiful and he was passionate and it made me happy. And the Everton penalty shot was great.
Adrian would make probably the best Santa Claus, I got to say. He's just jolly and people like him.
Yeah.
Wayne.
Has to be from back in the time where we actually won something. Phil Parkes, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, just was a gentleman as well as a brilliant goalie. Just knew everything there was to know about the game. Didn't care about going into a clatter, and just really he was a champion. He was a champion. I mean, FA Cup. The man's brilliant, and I love some of the comments that he's been saying lately as well about this dingbat that we got in goal right now, and the fact that a person who's played for the team in the past can actually get away with saying that is because he is so well respected, and people know that there is no way on God's earth would anyone, even on his worst bloody day, be able to say anything 10% of what we've said about the tatted twat.
He was a record signing at the time, I believe, and also played in the era before gloves.
Yeah, Adam knows that because I believe you got that wrong, didn't you? On the shot out in the last
but I
podcast.
Still won.
So, I was shouting at my car this morning when
in your dreams, Adam. In your dreams, Adam. Remember that the final say is in the hands of the editor.
Just mute him. The thing is with that question, because Long has said like record breaking, I just automatically thought about
James,
like,
he hasn't stopped making
day.
excuses, has he, James? He hasn't stopped making excuses. He's still making excuses, James. You don't know. You don't know how lucky. You don't know how bloody lucky you are, James.
Adam, who's your keeper?
I got to pick Robert Green, and that's because before him, we had David James as he was in his England career, but like it was the tail end, and he was already playing for England. But Robert Green was not anywhere near England. He came to us. The fans loved him. He was a worker. He was an intelligent bloke and just seemed like a really good guy. And so as West Ham fans, we don't get to see many players play for England. We just don't. And so when he got called up, it was like he deserved it. It meant we got to cheer for a keeper in the World Cup. Yeah, he did make that horrible mistake against America. But he's
horrible mistake. He never recovered from it. The guy was useless after that.
Well, I mean, it's gutting, really. I feel so sorry for him.
Kitty cat. Meow, 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 meow,
here's the thing.
James
so Robert
smiling.
Robert Green has got an entire career of working really hard, doing really well. He makes one mistake in one match, doesn't play again for England, like that World Cup, gets dropped. Roberto can literally flap the damn ball in the net, and he still gets to start the next game. It just doesn't make sense.
I think the
Absolutely
fans
ridiculous.
had a pretty special relationship with Rob Green, didn't they? Because we were singing, what was it, England's number 6. We were singing. He had that typed on his gloves. He had England's number 6 typed on his gloves.
Yeah.
I got to admit, I did love him as well at the time.
He was a great shot stopper, wasn't he? He wasn't the best of shotters, but getting in the way of the ball, he was a fantastic shot stopper. For me, I don't know. I love Greeny. Shaka, you gotta love Shaka.
Oh, Shaka Hislop was freaking brilliant.
I think Adam and I probably grew up together. I think we were about the same age. Ludo was my first goalkeeper that I remember, and Ludo was an absolute.
John, if you think back to those times, think about the times that you caught somebody in the box and you shoved their head down the toilet and flushed it. It was probably Adam that you did it to.
That would have been hard from our 2 locations, I think. But
where were you? Where did you grow up?
Right next to Wurzel Gummidge in the West Country in Swindon. So
we name dropped him the other day.
We did, didn't we?
No,
you mean Pellegrini? No. You grew up with Pellegrini.
I grew up with El Pel.
Come on, John. Doesn't freaking Pellegrini look like Wurzel bloody Gummidge?
He's got a little bit about him, I got to say. And maybe he's got a couple of Wurzel originals in his pocket as well to hand out to all the kids.
That's true. What I'll say about
James himself looks like he's actually come from the Twin Towers right now. Look at that beard. Yes, that's doing some good style there, James.
Hang on, what? Did I just sit? Hang on, I wasn't really paying attention.
You missed a typical Wayne comment. That's all you need to know.
See, this is what he can't edit out now. He definitely said beard in Twin Towers. Okay, I just wanted to check.
That's all you need to know.
It's fine. We're going to go on to question number 2. Well, that was like a 3-part first question. Question number 2. Usilios, whatever his name is, has come under fire from the board. We spoke about this on Friday Night Lights last week. But what I want to know is, what is the role of a director of football? And is Husilos performing that role according to what he should be, in your opinion? Why or why not? Wayne, we'll start with you.
I think the question should be to the board. Do you know what the role of a director of football is? I don't think they want to really give him the ability to do what he needs to do. I don't think he's actually shown the ability to bring in decent alternatives. He seems to go for like all of the big flash money players, but other than Fabianski, who's he brought in that's been really any good? I really don't see it. I mean, Haller, maybe he'll actually turn out to be something because he's shown like he's got all the possibilities of that. But anybody else, I mean, just for the fact that he brought Sanchez in, for crying out loud, is enough reason for me to say he doesn't quite know what he's doing. The only thing I do like is the fact that that we're not getting everything leaked to the press any longer and leaked to the in the know people any longer. And I think that's healthy for the club as a whole. But
apart from what goalkeepers starting next week, James.
True.
I have a roundabout theory about this. I think he's doing an adequate job, and I disagree. I think we signed some amazing players, but those players are being hindered by some really poor tactics from Pellegrini, and they're not being utilized at all. The 4-1-4-1 we've been playing is horrible. I said this the other day. It shows all of our weaknesses, shows none of our strengths, and we get exposed every week. And I think, Husilos is definitely hamstrung by the board in their cheap ways. And he, signing people like Sanchez and Roberto are just because there's no money. He's getting someone a body because he has no other money to bring in. And
Adam. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, James. Finish up.
I'm done. I'm done.
He's done. It went on for too long. Well, everyone knows, director of football, they've got one job. They go around measuring penis sizes of players because they need to check if it's the right fit for the manager. So that's,
What?
And well, that's what happened. I don't know about you three, but when he came to me, I mean, fair play. I'm not big enough for the club, so I didn't get picked. Did you guys? Maybe you guys didn't get scouted. But here's what I don't understand: how else has anyone signed Sanchez? That's the only feasible reason is that I guess he's the perfect fit for Pellegrini.
Wow.
Gives him. Managers say it all the time. We just misunderstand what they mean.
I don't know where to go with this at all.
I'm just.
What I was going to say originally, and my point is, in what world does a manager get to appoint the director of football who's supposed to be his boss? I mean, Adam, you've got that list on West Ham on the podcast that you read out every list from one Twitter user of, what is it, the 50 most West Ham things to ever happen?
Yeah, Jack Gambardella.
That's got to be one of them.
Brilliant.
Only at West Ham would the director of football be subservient to the manager. I mean, isn't the director supposed to be there to show the sustainability of a culture and theory of what the club should be doing? But instead, we seem to have brought one in that's good mates with Pellegrini because he's good mates with Pellegrini.
I think that when you look at most directors of football tend to be players who are tend to be like older managers who have either got experience, don't have a job, but, you know, have some shit. So they appoint them, who knows what they do, or a manager's about to retire. And instead of retiring, they're like, I tell you what, you can be director of football. Like, it seems to be in general an irrelevant position. And so I think that, like, maybe Pellegrini wanted him to do something else and be involved with a club, and the board were like, I tell you what, we'll make him director of football. Because let's be honest, no one cares about it. And also, as far as the board are concerned, they're pretty smart. What they probably thought, which is exactly what's happening now, yeah, all right, we'll give him a position. That way we've got another scapegoat. You know, if things go wrong, all of a sudden the board can just, that's what they're doing. They deflect onto somebody else, right? And they're deflecting on someone that they don't care about, but it means that they don't have to, like, come out and criticize Pellegrini, which they get slammed for. So instead of that, they just come out and blame his mate.
But it's something we asked for. It's something the fans asked for. We wanted Sullivan out of that position, right? And the director of football. Is he out of it? Well, I'm not saying he is, because he's certainly not. I don't think
never getting out of it. Do you?
He's certainly not. But
unless they sell, no.
That's what we asked for. Yeah. So if you're going to appoint somebody to do that, then I don't understand why it's Pellegrini's mate. James, Wayne, either you want to jump in on this? I gave Adam
not really
opportunity to get some fun.
No, go ahead, James.
I was just going to say, I agree. Like, I don't think it should have been Husillos necessarily. We do need a director of football, but we need someone to, like you said, bring in a culture to be long-standing no matter who the manager is. And I don't think that Husillos will stay once Pellegrini leaves. So what's the point in having him?
I'm not sure he'll be here by the time Pellegrini leaves. He might be the first guy to fall.
Didn't it seem like the appointment was the wrong way around? Shouldn't it be the director of football that comes in first?
Yeah, and brings in a manager that he thinks will fit the culture.
Exactly. So as much as it pains me, I have to agree with Adam. It was the old boys network, wasn't it? It really was. You know, a couple of mates that helped each other out in time of need, so to speak.
There's a term called Spursy. I think we can probably coin one called West Hammy as well. It's quite similar. Let's bring Wally back in. Wally, I didn't give you any notice on that. Sorry about that, fella. You look surprised to be on. How's everybody doing? What are the scores, Wally?
Well, we have right now we have James with 6 points, and
golf clap. Golf clap.
Adam with 8, and Wayne with 10.
Ooh.
What the hell has that happened?
How's that happened?
Wayne must be making some good points tonight. I don't know. He was telling me earlier that he was preparing, so maybe he's doing all right.
I was lying though, John. I was utterly lying.
Well, we got a couple of questions left, so let's get into those. Let's see, Wally. I'm going to drop you again. Sorry.
See you later, mate.
Where are we here? All right. It's changing gears now from West Ham. Let's talk about Adam and my era of growing up, our youth, a beautiful time in England, especially. Fantastic music. What song, band, or album most speaks to the 90s for you? What is the best? What epitomizes the 90s in your mind? Wayne, I'm going to come to you first. Hopefully you remember the 90s.
Yeah, I remember them because I came over here. To me, it's the 90s was kind of a dry period. It was just kind of a weird bunch of music for me. So I'm going to pick somebody that was classic, left over from the 80s and ran through the 90s with power, and that's Queen. For me, it's Queen. And for one reason only, and that's Bohemian Rhapsody.
Wasn't that what year did that come out, Wayne? I can't give a
no, I told you it came out in the 80s, but they had a big run with a bunch of songs during the 90s as well.
Okay, so Wayne's wrong. It came out in the 70s and then was reintroduced in 92 when it came out on Wayne's World movie.
Yes. James,
exactly.
James.
The resurgence.
That was definitely only Wayne would come up with something from Wayne's World.
Totally. It has to be about Wayne's World. Party on, and you're not worthy, dude. You're not worthy.
Oh my gosh.
For me, I think it was a toss up between two, but I narrowed it down to one, and I think it's because it still stands the test of time, and it's probably one of the greatest albums ever made. No. That would be the Nirvana MTV Unplugged album.
Yes, I was just listening to that upstairs.
It's so good. It's seriously so good.
Split your wrist too.
Oh man, it just really showed Kurt Cobain's genius, and
I'm
it was fantastic.
If I want to, I can kill myself. Yes, I always do.
Well, he only did it once. Adam.
It's really hard. It's a hard question, but I think even though I was Team Blur myself, I think.
How middle class are you, Adam?
Totally.
No, wait.
So posh.
What's the story?
Totally.
Morning Glory by Oasis literally epitomizes the 90s. Don't Look Back in Anger, like Wonderwall. I mean, these are the songs of my childhood, like Going to West Ham, and like absolutely.
That one's third on my list.
Oh, I know who number 2 is. It's Spice Girls, right?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Spice Girls are pretty high up.
Yeah.
It was check up from the neck up.
Bush 16 Stone was my number 2.
Hang on, what? Bush
16 Stone.
You mean the president released an album? That was one of your things of the 90s.
Well, yeah.
They were half British, weren't they? They were like 2 British people and 2 Americans.
Yeah, the lead singer, Gavin something, right?
Gavin Rossdale, yeah.
He's the one whose wife left him for Blake Shelton, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Pretty sad.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. What's the story? Fantastic. I'm a big Oasis fan. That was definitely that, or definitely maybe was just that album was so raw, man. It's incredible. And Noel Gallagher is dyslexic and still wrote that thing in like 2 weeks. It's quite impressive. But keeping on the happy theme, and I think my answer for this question will be from the 90s as well. What is your favorite West Ham kit of all time? And I don't know. Let me see if I can live Google them at the same time. Wayne, let's start with you.
I would like to say the 1980 FA Cup winning kit, but I actually preferred the home kit from that year than the white kit. That's my favorite one of all time. Even though horizontal stripes make a fat fella look even fatter, it was my favorite kit of all time. I love the floppy collar on it and everything. And this is my second favorite kit of all time from the early 2000s. It's other than that,
or something.
Yeah, 2001 through 3 or 4, something like that.
This is riveting.
So this and the shirt just before that had the big collar that used to stick up all the time.
What was that? Is that
was a Doc Martens sponsored one? Let's have a look. You got it?
This one?
That's my favorite shirt of all time.
It's a solid
my all-time favorite shirt. It's just a brilliant looking shirt, and it was worn by some brilliant freaking players. It was worn by Bonds. It was worn by Brooking. It was worn by Lampard. It was worn by Alvin Martin. It was worn by a bunch of brilliant freaking players that we've yet to see anyone that can lick their boots.
Classic. I'll give you a thumb up for that one. James.
Actually, my favorite of all time is the one Wayne's wearing.
Yeah,
all right,
like it.
Then I don't need to find that one.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Followed closely by the Upton Park final year.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
That is the worst shirt of all time.
How many dislikes can he get for that?
I was going to try. I was asking if my daughter Lily would write "Adam's a loser" on it, but she says no.
No, Daddy, stop making me touch you inappropriately.
Show me where on the doll Daddy said to write.
Wow.
That's a terrible joke. Adam.
Okay, so I'm going to do it in second place. I brought my props. This is my second place shirt, and mainly because I used to resemble Joey Cole a little bit when I was younger. And I remember one game I was on my way to the ground. I used to look a bit like Joe Cole.
On a bad night, like when you'd had a few too many. When I was shit out of him.
When I hadn't moved to Texas and became bigger because everything in Texas is bigger.
So you kept your mouth open like 10 hours a day.
Yeah, basically. And I remember one day I was on the way to a match. A Newcastle fan. They turned around to me. Wait, hey man, it's Joey Cole, like. True story. I was like, oh yeah, cool. I'm not, but my favorite kit of all time.
Were you wearing that shirt at the time, Adam?
Yeah, I think I was. Because I've only ever had two players.
You look like him because you had Joe Cole on your shirt. So
okay, you're getting worse. Okay, but my favorite kit of all time. These shirts are actually like mediums. I can't fit in them now. This is the best shirt of all time.
Oh, classic.
And let me explain why. Pony in Cockney rhyming slang is literally the word crap. Pony and trap, crap. So it's really like the West Ham way again to literally have a kit made by a company that, you know, in East London, Pony is crap. So yeah, that's why it's my favourite.
That's a good choice, but you're all wrong.
Here we go.
What was your favourite one, John?
My first West Ham shirt of all time. Get in that BAC window.
That reminds me of Tony Cottee, that shirt.
Oh my God, what a shirt that was. Trevor Morley back in those days.
Yeah.
Who do we have? Dear God, Steve Potts back then, Tim Breaker.
Oh, legend.
God, what a team that was. And look at the away one. Dear Lord, I forgot about that. Look at this one.
Oh my God.
The blue one. Yeah, that one's nice.
Oh God, yes.
The Argentina kit.
Yeah. Classic. That's before sponsorships got a little out of control. But thumbs up to everybody. Wally, I think, I don't know if I got James one for that one, but he deserves a thumb. That one as well. And now what we're going to bring you...
all the thumbs I can get.
Now what we're going to bring you is a bit of a mashup. Pie and mashup, perhaps? I don't know. It's a bit of a mashup.
Pie and mashup.
Between the two mashup. So now this is the segment. Who knows what it is? It's Friday is while we drink, right? And we'll do a bit of both. But we're going to do the penalty shot out for these guys, and we're going to do one on video. I don't think anybody's actually doing a video of doing the shot live, but we're going to figure out who's going to do it for your next episode. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah, for definite, we can do that.
Okay, so in this instance, I'm going to bring Wally back in because he's going to have the timer. Wally, hello.
Hello, I'm back.
So we're going to give everybody 20 seconds. I'm going to do some trivia questions, and hopefully we come out with a winner. I do.
Okay, so how many are we going to get? How are you going to? How many are we getting? What's the
3 each?
Format?
So we got 3 each. I'm going to go. Yeah, we're going to start.
I've already
with
finished that whole whiskey, so you guys are going to win.
And it's 20 seconds per question.
20 seconds per question. I'm going to go
James.
James.
The time that he finishes talking about the question, it's 20
James,
seconds.
Wayne, Adam is the order that we're going to go in. I'm going to ask him each a trivia question. And then after 3, hopefully nobody's tied. If somebody's tied, I do have a tiebreaker as well. So this is the penalty shot out, which is what they do on West Ham is Why We Drink. Subscribe to that. Tune into that.
I'm on a roll.
James. Time to get serious.
Oh,
What managers, or who were the managers that preceded and proceeded Gianfranco Zola? So who came right before Zola and right after Zola?
Whoa.
And Wally, you can do a countdown if you want, Wally.
All right. You got 5 seconds now.
After it was Grant,
3,
maybe?
2, 1.
Yeah, I don't
Time's
know.
up.
Oof. No points for James. You were right. Avram Grant was right after Gianfranco Zola, and Alan Kirbishley was the manager before Zola.
I got that.
Wayne.
Hello.
Who provided the cross for Paolo Di Canio's wonder goal against Wimbledon? There's a lot of size tonight. I didn't think these were that bad.
Oh, 6.
10 seconds.
Blimey. I just watched this video a couple of days ago as well.
5,
Guess it then.
4, 3,
Nah.
Guess a player.
2,
Okay,
Nope, we're
so
gonna
1.
can I just say that you should know that since I already asked you that in the penalty shot out before?
I agree. I remember
Did you?
asking him.
Yeah.
And I think he got it right, didn't he?
No, he didn't get it right. He didn't know
I
it
didn't get
either.
it right. I definitely didn't get it
So who
right.
knows it? So James, you must know it. Who is it?
You've muted yourself.
It's rather
Oh,
convenient. that you went
Trevor
quiet there.
Sinclair.
Yeah, that's
Trevor
what I
Sinclair.
thought.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was. Yes, it was.
Oh my
Totally
gosh.
unmemorable.
I literally have known both of these questions, and you just know I'm going to get some like, I don't know. I'm going to stand positive.
Adam,
And if he gets it
such a
wrong, he's going to say
Stay
it's
positive.
fixed.
Love your life. All right, I
He's
got
such a
this.
naysayer. Adam, we're coming to you with a West Country question. Since I'm from Swindon. What West Ham legend signed from Swindon Town for £1 million in June of 1994?
My God, I was.
I was 10 as well, and I remember.
What is that? Police? They're coming to get me. So I have got no.
You should be
idea
arrested
what's
for that
going on.
question, John.
No. Is it that bad?
5, 4.
Swindon Town. Probably the only
2.
player we've ever signed from Swindon.
Tim Breaker. Just said a player. I've no idea.
John Moncur.
Wow.
I thought that would have been more
Should have been
common
my
knowledge
question.
than that.
You didn't answer that question because I've told you a bunch of times that Moncur is my favourite, didn't you?
No, you wouldn't have known that, Wayne.
I would have known. That's probably the only one I would have known tonight so
No
far.
way. I
That's
don't
the
believe
only
you for
one
a
I would have
second.
known.
How convenient.
The
How
only
about
one I
next
would
time
have
you
known.
think you know, you say before you've heard the answer. So
He had a
can't do
question
that.
he's already had before and still couldn't answer it. So
get that one.
exactly. The
How are we
guy.
looking, Wally? I think everybody's on 0, right?
Yeah, none of them have got. Although James did get somebody else's question. I don't know if we can
That's
get
irrelevant.
No, we don't.
No, I get a point. I get a point. Give me
No,
a
he
point.
doesn't.
He
No
doesn't
point for
get
that.
anything. Shut up, James.
James, you're in now for the second question of the night for you. West Ham
All
has
right.
won the FA Cup 3 times. Name 2 of the years that we won.
1980 and 1964.
He's got it, Wally. Give that man
All
a
right.
point. There we go.
What was the
There we
other
go.
one?
The other one was
What's the other one, James?
1975. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, 75. Yeah.
1975.
Damn.
Wayne,
I give up.
we spent a lot of time on this man tonight. So what squad number is Roberto?
13.
Yes. He's got
Oh, boo.
Everybody should get that.
This is Adrian's number.
His back was literally facing the camera when he punched the ball into the goal. I figured everybody would be able to get that one. Adam. In the Great Escape season,
Okay.
against which team did Carlos Tevez score his first goal?
His first goal.
His first
Ooh.
goal.
Why couldn't it be the last goal?
That
Are you
would be
kidding
too
me?
easy, Adam.
I always get the hardest questions. I swear to
10
God.
seconds.
Wah, wah, wah.
10 seconds.
I'm going to Chelsea.
No.
Will you say
Anybody?
no as if I'm going to know? Obviously, I don't know. It was
Manchester
against-
United.
It's the most iconic moment of the season.
No, the most
Manchester
iconic moment
United.
was against Man United.
No, it's when he scored that free kick against Spurs and ran and jumped into the crowd.
It
It
was
was
Man
Spurs.
Oh, yeah. No, dickhead. Man U was at the end. That's how we
The
stayed
end.
I'm
up.
going to have to do a lot of bleeping in this episode.
Wow.
Why? Because dickhead is bleeping.
Oh my God.
I can't believe I'm going to lose this bloody shot out.
So right now, what do we have, Wally? James has got
Bullshit
one.
questions.
James has got 1. Wayne has got 1, and Adam has 0.
Oh God. God.
Dun, dun,
This is the
dun.
last one, right?
This is the last one.
I think you should add some more questions.
James,
3 isn't really
I
a
don't know
fair
if I can
question
selection.
make
on and see if
anybody that
Adam can get it right. What do you reckon, James?
What?
We
I
should just
have no.
throw the question and see if Adam can get it right.
Oh, no. Because I don't trust you, number one.
Yeah, this will all get edited anyway. Wayne will end up winning.
I'll end up winning this one, definitely.
James, what year did West Ham permanently adopt claret and blue as their home colours?
If you get this, you deserve to win the damn quiz.
He is Stato. I wanted to give him something that would be Stato-like.
1906.
Fucking hell, that's close. Anybody else?
I mean, I would just guess 1905 because you said it was close.
1899.
1903.
Oh,
Yeah, close, Joe. I'll give you half a fingertip for that, a thumb tip. For
okay.
that one.
I'll take a half. I mean,
I don't know if that counts.
Doesn't take much to get me excited.
But that's a close one. Wayne, this question in particular comes from Charlie Boy, who had a question specifically for you. So, how old was Tony Cottee on his debut, and what team did he play against?
Oh, blimey. Charlie Boy, my 8-year-old daughter is in the room with me right now, or I'd be telling you what my answer is, mate. You want to bleep me? You want to bleep me now?
5.
Please go on again.
It's like a
I've got no clue. I've got no clue at all.
No clue. He was 17 and it was against Spurs. Adam, can you redeem yourself?
This is your chance to tie it up, Adam.
Come on.
This is it.
So tempted to Google this on my phone.
This is recent. This is recent. In a 2019 FA Cup match, against which team was a West Ham supporter caught throwing horse manure at the opposing supporters?
Oh, I vaguely remember this.
I got no idea at all.
Suppose nobody's picking up on the horse joke here, but
10 seconds.
I'm just gonna say, as I really want to cheat and Google it, but unlike Wayne, I'm honest. I'll just guess Wimbledon.
Birmingham City. Birmingham City. So we have a what do we have? A 2-way tie there, Wally?
Well, it's a tie, so I think I'll join in the tiebreaker as well.
No, it's not a tie. It's actually, I think James has got 1.5 questions right. I got 1 question right.
No, it's a tie.
And Adam got no questions right.
It's a tie.
Which means that Adam lost. Don't you think so, James? I think that's a loss for James.
It's going to the tiebreaker.
A loss for Adam, rather.
It's going to a tiebreaker.
It's a loss for Adam.
If you lose the tiebreaker,
I got
you
one
lose.
question right.
I don't qualify for the tiebreaker.
John gave him half a point. And did you get any right, Adam?
What? No,
did you get any right at all?
Excuse me, I'm no longer in the quiz. It's out of
any right at all?
You two.
Pick a number between 1 and 8. 1 and 8, John, because he's doing a shot next time.
Listen,
I'm not trusting you picking a number, you dickhead.
I'll pull it up on the screen so you can see it.
Wally, what do you think? We hitting this tiebreaker, Wally? I've got a good one.
Oh, you got yeah. Go for the tiebreak. Yes,
good choice. That's what I thought.
So,
all right, bring it on.
Down to the closest.
Adam lost.
Down to the closest 100. What is the largest attendance at Upton Park ever? So we'll give you 20 seconds. Write them down or something, and then we'll collect them all together at the end.
Hold on.
Wait, what?
Or just think of it. You don't need to write it. If you can remember it, then just think of it.
No, better write it or we'll cheat.
Bold of you to assume that I have a pen.
I've got mine here. Just put it on your phone. You've got your phone on. Oh, no, you're recording on your phone. He's recording.
Well, then James go first. If he doesn't have a pen, James can go first.
Yeah,
I have a crayon. Look at this. I have a crayon. Give me a second.
I'll just do him instead of you, mate. I'll just substitute him for you. I
don't know if you can read it with this pencil I've got here. Oh, I found a pen.
Oh my gosh. Is there a way to edit live YouTube so that the people watching, the people that were watching until this got so boring, don't just tune out?
No, they're gonna watch and they're gonna struggle through all of it. People on YouTube, what do you think? Charlie Boy says Adam went from a onesie to a nunsie.
That's good. That's good. Give that guy likes. He deserves likes.
Onesie to nunsie.
Award him likes.
Listen, all of my likes are for Charlie. I gotta say, he doesn't know it, but they're all for him. Wally, what do you think? Where are you on this question? What's your range that you're thinking of?
Considering Adam lost.
What was the question?
Largest attendance at Upton Park, so nearest 100. What do you think it is?
39,100.
You're wrong.
39,100. All right. Everybody have theirs?
Yeah.
Adam. We can't read it.
35,600, Bob.
35,600.
Adam, I wrote exactly the same thing.
No.
35,600. Wayne?
I wrote exactly
James,
the same thing.
36,300. James is the winner because the record attendance is 42,322.
Oh.
So actually,
I'm the winner.
Essex Hammer is the winner of all of it. But he may have had YouTube at his disposal. We don't know. That's pretty damn close. I can't believe we got.
Why did you pick 35.6, Adam?
I don't know. Maybe you did
weird.
some Darren Brown shit on me and put that number into my mind.
I'm sure it was 35,600 because we had that question somewhere.
You know what? Maybe that's probably the maximum capacity.
Yeah. I remember you asking me that. Yeah.
Yep.
That's incredible. Yeah. That's incredible. So, James, you win.
Was there ever any doubt that I would come back and win? I mean, honestly.
So hang on a minute. So that means he wins
the penalty
shot. Have to do the shot, right?
He wins the penalty shot. Well, here's how we're going to do it. I've just thought of this on the spot, so we'll see if it actually works.
Oh, God,
James wins the penalty shot out, and then we're going to go to Wally and see who won the show. And the person that won the show is the exempt, and the other two have to do the nasty shot. How does that sound?
Oh, shoot.
What? No, because I won the penalty shot out. I don't like this.
Wayne was winning,
so you're exempt, James.
Okay, all right.
James exempt. Okay. So now we're trying to find out who the other person has to do the shot. So Wally, what were the final scores, Wally?
I just might as well drink now.
Okay, well, are we including the three questions or 3 or 4 questions in with the scores?
No.
Or are we going with
No.
Just the original likes?
You need to recalculate or?
Oh, no, I got it here.
You can add a couple to mine if you like.
During regular time. Adam?
During regular time. Okay,
regular
here we go. In third place is James with 9.
Bastard, James.
He's lucky. He's really lucky.
Next, we have Wayne with 11.
Oh, that means Wayne is out.
And
Wayne's got to do a shot.
Adam and 11.
I can't believe it.
They're tied.
There's got to be a tiebreaker. There has
tiebreaker
to be.
Now.
There has to be. Oh, Christ.
Okay, so maybe you should give us like, I don't know,
maybe,
like
I think we should both do a shot.
No, what I think we should do. This is Friday Night Lights. You should pick us a topic, give us like 30 seconds or something, and then see whose answer you prefer. But you should probably give us 2 different questions so that we don't have any thinking time.
So
that doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
No,
I think we should both do the shot because we both put exactly the same thing down for this, and we both got exactly the same number of questions. We're totally utterly tied. But here's the deal: we only have to do half the shot each.
I'm a gambling man. So if I've got a chance of making you do the entire shot, I'm up for a gamble.
I'll do it on one condition: if I win, you have to do 2 shots.
How about?
And one of them is my choice.
How about if you win, I don't do 2 shots, but you get to pick the worst of all of the shots?
No. I think if I win, you do 2 shots. That's the only way I'm going to do it.
I think that you guys can figure that one out on your own in Dallas. And for right now, I'm going to give you both a question. I haven't figured out what that question is yet, but
make sure they're different though, because if I go first, he'll cheat. He'll copy all my answers and try it. He's got longer to think about it.
Well, then he won't get thumbs. So let's talk about this. Sebastian Haller has really not come under much criticism. Criticize him, Wayne.
Okay, he's supposed to be a striker. He doesn't seem to be able to sniff the edge of the net for the life of him. That's the first thing. The amount of money that we pay for him, he should be able to come in there straight away and start putting the ball in the back of the net. How many goals has he got? 2, 3 now, and that's about it? I don't think that there's... He just seems to be falling into the same mold of every single striker that we bought, apart from even Arnautovic did it, and that is that we pay big money for a striker and they can't bloody score a goal. He's not He's not selfish enough. He looks around himself all the time for that next person that he's going to pass off to. And because Adam's looking at his watch, plus he's French. Everything. He's French.
Adam.
Wow. All right. Well, damn, it's really hard to criticize him because the reality is he hasn't really had an opportunity to do much to be criticized. I think that the best criticism of him is that lately he's not really playing his position. He's getting so bored and frustrated with what he does that he's been tracking back way too far. Like, he shouldn't be in our third of the pitch defending. And I know that when you're a striker and you're lacking on confidence, you just want to get the ball, but you've got to stay focused in your job because he's a striker and he's a very talented striker. We paid a lot of money for him, and he probably knows as well as we do he hasn't valued, he's not really met what we're expecting. And he probably hasn't met his own expectations either. When you sign for a club with that sort of money, you're meant to be their big man, and he hasn't been. Although, I mean, like I say, I feel harsh even criticizing the guy because, I mean, the only valid criticism is, you're right, Wayne, is French.
Well, you guys got the same likes again, so we're going to have to go with another question. This is the bumper edition of Friday Night.
Yes.
The bumper, yes. Best West Ham player ever, not including the 60s, boys.
Okay.
Best West Ham player not including the 60s?
Not including the 60s. Best West Ham player ever. No. Let's change that. Most underrated West Ham player ever. How about that, Adam?
Okay. Good question. Oh my gosh, there's so many. I'm going to go for somebody. I think to be underrated, you've got to be someone that people won't really think about. And when I tell you his name, you're both probably going to think, oh yeah, I'd forgotten about him. And that's Sebastian Schmel. He was an incredibly good writer. In fact, he played so well for us that he won Hammer of the Year on his only whole season that he had. He was great getting forwards. The fans loved him. Yet he really, even though he won Hammer of the Year, the club decided to sell him. And now as fans, he's forgotten, right? I mean, did either of you remember his name when I said it, were you both like, oh yeah, of course.
It was a good name. It was a good name. And just so you know, I'm not actually going to show the like button this time, but I'm keeping it in my head. Yeah.
I like that. So my most underrated.
Board.
That's my most underrated player because, I think that he's forgotten. And it's a shame that he could have been. I think he really could have been a West Ham legend as well.
Wayne.
I'm going to go a little more recent. I'm going to go with Diamante. We let him go. Every time he
though?
What?
Yeah.
I will say underrated because we let him go. We didn't even fight to keep him. We wouldn't even think about keeping him. Yeah, every time that guy pulled on a West Ham shirt, he fought like an Englishman out there on the pitch, and that's what I really loved about the guy. He had some tenacity. He wasn't afraid to go in for a tackle. He didn't play like your typical European does. And for me, that's why he was so much of a special player. Not only that, but when he left the club, he always kept in touch with people at the club. And you'd see him all the time talking about how the time at West Ham was so special to him and how he felt like he had a bond with the players. So for me, it was Diamante.
You guys are giving me a dilemma here tonight. Schmel was a good defender, fan favorite, like you said. Diamante couldn't tackle back for shit, but people loved him. Some of those free kicks that he had, a great swerve on his foot.
Well, he was like Di Canio Jr., wasn't he?
He was.
It reminded us of Di Canio.
After he left us, he got into the Italian team. Like he was a good player.
Yeah.
So between the two, let me bring the other boys back just so we wrap up now.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, everyone. I feel like I'm on the Brady Bunch.
I feel like I need to point out real quick how wrong Wayne was about Sebastian Haller. He's our leading goal scorer on the whole team.
That doesn't take much of a minute, to be fair.
Well, still, but he's like, oh, he's not scoring. He is our leading goal scorer, and he's got 2 assists. So, I mean, it's not like he's not contributing, but just saying.
Wally, where were you on their picks, Wally?
We had to criticize him, James. maybe the beard's growing up a little bit too far and it's clogging his lug holes.
Hey, criticize him fairly at least. Say he's
it's hard to
slow.
do that. Oh yeah. Oh, we didn't say that. That's a good idea.
Wally, what do you think
Yeah.
about their answers for underrated?
Oh, they're talking about guys that I don't know. So, but I liked Adam's passion of, bringing up a name
Wally.
from the past, But Wayne is no.
I've got to go with Schemmel. I have to go with Schemmel.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Wayne. Adam, how does it feel to win one episode?
He didn't win. He didn't get one question
Here,
right in the
press
penalty
that mute
shootout.
button.
Not
Press
one
the mute
question
button
right.
on him.
Not
Mute
one.
him.
Not
Get
one
rid of
question
him.
Right.
Mute him.
Not
No
one.
one needs to hear this anymore.
There
It's
he
bad
goes.
enough we can't see anything from the reflection of the light on his head.
So, everybody else gets booted. Adam, you get 30 seconds or a minute. It's your pulpit to make people do whatever they want, make them drink, talk about something that's annoying you at the time, or promote your show. Whatever you want to do, the floor is yours.
Nice. So I'm going to use the floor to spread the love, just to, tell everybody, stay positive, love your lives. That's my little catchphrase. And, in times like this where we all get a little bit depressed about West Ham, just keep your head up. And it would be wrong of me not to do this. I wrote a new Bubbles song. So I'm going to give everybody...
So happy this is happening.
It has to happen, really, because it's the most appropriate thing. So this is a Bubbles, the new version. It's James Longman's ringtone on the set of the Late Late Show. And the idea of this is to make it positive. Well done, Wally. You knew I was going to do it. It just came to me. So here we go. This is how it goes, everybody. We're going to release it as a ringtone if Wayne can do that, because I don't know how. I'm forever blowing bubbles, pretty bubbles in the air. They fly for you, flying through and through. Then, like my dreams, they all come true. Fortune's never hiding, broken dreams to mend. I'm forever blowing bubbles, pretty bubbles till the end. United! United!
Wayne has left the room. Wayne closed out his browser.
That's because on the back of this, we're going to release that as a ringtone so that he can finally make some money out of West Ham Is Why We Drink podcast.
Incredible. So, listen, thanks everybody for being here. Adam, James, thank you. Wayne, you're going to have to listen to this back so you can edit it. So thank you.
Let's abuse him. Now he's not here, boys. You've had to do other shows with him. What do you think of the guy? Be honest.
We're
he's
at
not here.
57 minutes. If you want to round it out to an hour with 3 minutes of complaining about Wayne,
it would be rude not to. Oh, no.
No, there he is.
Oh, that's all right. Let's abuse him to his face. Keep him muted.
He is muted. Go ahead.
Wally, you can go first. Tell us what you don't like about Wayne.
My internet went out. John, I thought you were a fairer person to let a loser win the contest tonight.
Why is he unmuted? Wayne, listen carefully. You're about to get some criticism. It might be constructive, but that's not that relevant.
Who's starting? James, you're up.
Oh, wait,
John, you
go.
have to do it as well, John.
Criticize Wayne? I don't know, man. He's one of the OGs, I got to say. He's an American Hammers TV favorite. The thing I like and loathe the most about Wayne is he has very strong convictions, but that's a good thing and both a bad thing.
Always a bad
He
thing.
has very strong wrong opinions.
Spoken from a guy who's afraid to talk on camera.
Well, there might be a camera. There might be some recordings of him and your missus, mate. After all, that's why he's not on the podcast anymore.
Whoa. Wow.
That one is called Saturday Morning Regret. And with that, everybody, we're going to wrap this one up for the evening. Thank you all to the guys of West Ham Is Why We Drink podcast for being here. Wally is our legend here out of
pleasure.
PA. Thank you so much for your help, Wally. Thanks for everybody in the chat room. There's been plenty of people.
Thanks, guys.
Wally World. Neil from Down Under. Tim, I know you're in there. If you guys aren't subscribed, please subscribe. If you guys are not subscribed to West Ham Is Why We Drink, please subscribe to that too.
Great show.
Facebook, on YouTube, and all your social channels. Thank you very much. And we got to get after it against Tottenham, don't we, in a week, boys? We got to get after that.
Let's hope so.
We got one more episode before that, at least last Friday. So I think we'll talk about that one then. But for now, thank you all very much.
Thank you too, John. Thanks for
Have a good night.
Thank you,
mate. Appreciate it, buddy.
Back in the chat room.